Hi, I'm Amy Porterfield. In the last 6 years, Facebook has played a major role in transforming my business, but it's also played a big role in changing my entire life. I know, a little dramatic, but let me explain. In this video, I'd like to share a little bit of my story with you and also show you exactly what I did that took Facebook from something I was playing around with, I was wasting my time with, to an indispensable tool that I now use every day to build my business. I've studied all the social media sites, and I do know for a fact that Facebook has an advantage over all other social media networks because they've perfected how you can precisely target your ideal audience every single day. The scary thing is, Facebook knows everything about us. They know who we like, who we talk to, and who we're friends with. Facebook knows way too much about us, but as a marketer, I see this as a golden opportunity. This means that we have the opportunity to get in front of our perfect, ideal audience on a regular basis. So with Facebook, I always say, no matter what business you're in, you can grab the attention of your perfect audience. You just need a strategic plan to make it happen. What I do in my business is I create online training programs to help entrepreneurs and just anybody wanting to start a business get the exposure, the traffic, the sales that they need online. Before I started my own business, I actually worked for Harley-Davidson, and I always joke, I am not a biker chick by any means. However, I was there during their 100th anniversary, and it was a pretty amazing time. And to learn marketing from a company that they have fanatics as their customers, they literally tattoo the logo of the brand on their arms. So it was a really cool place to learn how to build stories and communicate with an audience and just really get your message out. But then from there, I decided to go work for peak performance coach Tony Robbins. So I went from Harley-Davidson to Tony Robbins, which was a really weird shift, but I'm really glad I did it because it was an amazing experience. But at the same time, I had just gotten married to my husband, Hobie, and I was on the road probably 60% of the year. Plus, I was extremely stressed and my time wasn't my own. Everything I did was dictated by somebody else. And that doesn't make for a really great first year of marriage when you never see your husband and you're always stressed out. So that's when I thought, I want to do this for myself. I want more creativity, more freedom. So that's when I thought, maybe I need to make a transition. I have not always been an entrepreneur, nor have I ever thought that I would be someone that would have their own business. It never even was in my vocabulary to become an entrepreneur. So I had this pivotal moment in my life where I was at Tony Robbins' offices and we were going to have a meeting that day with a bunch of internet marketing gurus. Now, at the time, I didn't know who these guys were, but I had heard some rumblings that they were some big shots. So I literally was in the meeting, I sat in a corner, I was there just to take notes and just be available. And all of a sudden, Tony asked these guys, tell me about your lifestyle and tell me about your business. And one by one, each guy started telling a story about their life in terms of, this is how much freedom I have. This is how I create my day, meaning I call the shots. I get to create programs and products that transform people's lives, but I don't go to an office every day. I am not on the road 60, 70% of the year, and I have a life that I absolutely love. So it's funny, they weren't talking about the business they had, they all were talking about their lifestyle, and something inside me started to stir. And so that meeting literally changed my life. I didn't know it at the time, but it was the start of me deciding I'm going to make this work no matter what. And so what I did was it took me a good year from that meeting till actually branching out on my own because I had this limiting belief that I thought I don't have enough knowledge or skill to start my own business. If I could go back and change that, I would talk to my former self and say, you're crazy. Like everyone has something in them that they could create a business around. I strongly believe that. So that first year out of corporate was nothing like I thought it was supposed to be. I was ready to have this lifestyle that I had tons of time off and I could spend with my family and not work 60, 70, 80 hours a week, which was what I was working in corporate. Well, it didn't really turn out that way this first year. So my plan was to create online training programs. And when I went out on my own, what happened was I didn't have tons of money. So I didn't have a bunch of money saved to start my own business. So I needed to have a cash flow. And for me, that was taking clients. So I became a consultant for social media. And the good thing is I learned the ropes fast. So I got in the trenches and I did the work. The bad news was I went from one big boss, literally, I mean, Tony Robbins is a big guy, to a bunch of mini bosses. So now I had clients that felt like my bosses. So no longer was I calling the shots and creating my programs and feeling that creative spirit that I really wanted in my business. I was just doing what all these other mini bosses wanted me to do. And to be honest, I was miserable. At that exact same time, my husband, Hobie, came to me and said, Amy, I want to make a huge career change. Now, he was 38 at the time. He was a general contractor, had his own business, but he wasn't loving what he was doing. So he said, I want to become a firefighter. So I looked at Hobie and thought, okay, I need to be a really supportive wife here, but it was just a crazy thing that he came to me with this big decision. So what we did was we decided that I was going to support our family while he became a firefighter. And I didn't know it was going to take 2 or 3 years to actually make this happen, but I was in a business that I didn't love and I needed to make more money. So I needed a kick in the pants to actually transition my business. Hobie wanting to become a firefighter and the fact that I had a bunch of clients I didn't really like was that kick in the pants I needed to make the transition into a business that I love. During that time when I was trying to create a business, it was probably the scariest time that I've ever experienced. I was scared to leave corporate, but this was even scarier because now I was out on my own. I had to make sure that there was revenue coming in, and I was doubtful of everything. Up until that point, I had been using Facebook daily, posting regularly, creating great content, spending a lot of time on perfecting my cover image on my Facebook page and perfecting every single post that I put out there and really focusing on my fans, which was important, but it wasn't generating revenue. The breakthrough was when I realized I have to approach Facebook completely different. And what I needed was to figure out how to turn all these fans into actually paying customers. When I realized how to do that, that's when everything changed. What I did is I got strategic and I realized that everything else in my life, if I put a plan together, I was able to actually accomplish the goal I was going for. So why treat Facebook any differently? I actually put 7 steps together that created a Facebook marketing funnel. And when you look at Facebook as a funnel, you're going to see that things really start to change. And for me, my business started to build momentum when I actually had the funnel. The 7 steps have created more freedom for me. To really put it in a big picture, the 7 steps have allowed me to create a business that I absolutely love. I used to wake up every morning fearful that I wouldn't have enough customers. I used to wake up and think, what am I going to do today to actually generate the revenue I need to support my family? Now I wake up every morning excited that I get to work on projects that I love. I get to create different programs that I know are going to make a difference in people's lives. And I have this amazing confidence that I know this is going to work. When you have a plan, everything starts to fall into place. What it meant to my audience was that now I had a purpose on Facebook. I knew what my end game was. When you know what your end game is, meaning what you plan to offer or sell, you're able to craft a message that's going to resonate with your audience. So my message got stronger. It actually had a point to it, so I was able to make an impact with my audience. Now those fans that were actually starting to pay more attention to me because I had a plan behind my marketing, they wanted to know how they could do business with me. It was crazy how everything changed in terms of I became somebody that had the authority. I knew what I was talking about and they understood what my business was about. The plan allowed that all to happen. You know, I no longer have to answer to anybody else. I call the shots in terms of what I work on it and when I work on things. But at the same time, I get to spend extra time with my family. And I'm a different person now that I am not as stressed out with going to work every day and traveling everywhere and never being home. My husband actually says that he sees a huge difference in me, and that's a pretty cool feeling as well. Looking back at that pivotal meeting where I watched all these guys talk about their lifestyle and what they've created, never in a million years would I thought that I would be able to create something that I actually designed on my own. This is a business that I love, that I truly am making a difference in other people's lives and supporting my family. Although I think I have a lot of strengths and a lot of skill, I know that my story is not extra special, meaning I truly believe if I can do this, so can so many other people that are desperate to find a new way to live their life. So for those people out there that think, I cannot make this work. I'm trying to create my own business, but Facebook's not working for me. I'm frustrated and I don't know what to do. What I know for sure is that I can help people eliminate that overwhelm and that frustration because it took me a few years to perfect. I mean, this did not happen overnight. However, I know what needs to be done to get results on Facebook, and my mission is to teach those 7 steps in this Facebook marketing plan so that others can see the huge success that you can create when you get a Facebook marketing plan together. Starting your own business can be scary. It's stressful and there's a lot of doubt that comes into play. But if you can push past that doubt and that fear and really take advantage of all the opportunities that are in front of you, you can create an amazing life. I hope you enjoyed hearing my story of how I discovered a different way to look at Facebook marketing. In my story, I mentioned my 7-step Facebook marketing plan, and now I want to give you a quick snapshot of that plan so you can see firsthand what I'm doing to create the big results I'm getting in my business. Now, there are 7 steps to my Facebook marketing plan, and when you put them all together, you have an extremely powerful funnel you can put on autopilot. So here it goes. Step number 1, create your lead magnet, your irresistible giveaway. Step number 2, create a lead capture page to collect names and emails. Step number 3, create a Facebook post that you turn into a Facebook ad. Step number 4, create a targeting strategy so your ad is seen by only the people that matter most to your brand. Step number 5 is all about smart budgeting so you do not waste a penny on your Facebook efforts. Step number 6, track your metrics so that you know your Facebook plan is really working for you. And the final step is to create 5 essential emails that will help you turn your new leads into paying customers. Now, I completely understand that at first glance, this seems like a lot of steps. And these steps essentially mean nothing to you unless you really understand how to implement each one. But stick with me, I know how to break them all down for you to make them easy to tackle one by one. Now, to get you started, in my next video, I'm going to dive deep into step number 1, so you know exactly how to craft a lead magnet that will serve as the foundation for your entire marketing plan. After my next video, you will know exactly what you should create as a free giveaway to start collecting names and emails right away. And if you already have a giveaway created, but you're not collecting leads on autopilot, I'll show you how to tweak that giveaway to make it even more powerful. So look for an email from me in just a few days with my second mini training session. In the meantime, if you know someone who could really benefit from watching this video and hearing my story, please share it with them by clicking the share buttons on this page. And now to wrap up this first video, I want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell me your number 1 biggest frustration with your Facebook marketing. Anything goes, I want to hear from you. I will read every single response, so take a minute just to post below. So goodbye for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in video number 2.